There are few things more terrifying than being truly alone. Not just without company, but without rescue, without hope. In 1923, one woman found herself stranded at the edge of the world. No food, no protection, just ice, wind, and the slow ticking of time. This is the true, horrifying story of Ada Blackjack, the woman who refused to die. Ada Blackjack was not an explorer. She was a 23-year-old Alaskan widow with a young son who was sick. She had no income, so when a group of explorers asked her to join a mission as a cook and seamstress for good pay, she immediately said yes. The expedition was controversial. The goal was to claim Wrangel Island for the British Empire, despite no government approval and no real backup plan. They arrived in September 1921. The island was beautiful, but merciless. Supplies were limited, and the men expected a ship to return the following summer with food and support. But summer came, and the ship never arrived. Ice had blocked the passage. They were trapped. One winter passed, and then another. Food grew scarce. By early 1923, with no word from the outside world, one of the men, Knight, had grown very ill, likely from scurvy. He was bedridden, weak, and fading. That's when the three others made a desperate decision. They would cross the frozen sea to Siberia on foot with sled dogs in the dead of Arctic winter. They left Ada behind to care for Knight, who could barely lift his head. Ada watched them disappear over the horizon. They were never seen again. Ada stayed by Knight's side, doing everything she could, but he was dying, and worse, he was growing bitter. He lashed out at her, accused her of not helping enough, but Ada, terrified, exhausted, and essentially alone, kept going. She learned to fire the rifle, built traps, skinned foxes. She taught herself how to stretch every single resource, reusing scraps of cloth, making tools from driftwood, and melting ice for water. When Knight finally passed away, she was the last living soul on the island. Just Ada, the wind, the cold, and the silence. There were days when the sun didn't rise, days she didn't speak a single word. Sometimes she talked to herself just to hear a voice. Then one day, the silence broke. A rescue ship finally arrived. The men aboard expected to recover bodies, but instead they found a woman, Ada, alive. She had survived 2 years on one of the most remote islands on Earth. She had buried a man, outlasted starvation, braved the polar dark, and lived. Ada returned home quietly. She avoided the press. the fame. She never called herself a hero. She just wanted to care for her son. Ada Blackjack is the woman who faced the Arctic alone, and she won.